Hey guys, welcome to Someone's PC. I'm Chris Taporco. You've obviously never heard of me, but I'm here with
You suck.
Me and Russ drafted this guy.
Yeah, he's
these fuckers
he's
drafted
the
me.
hunger pick, man. He's the dude that no points, but he's good, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Good.
But we're glad to actually come here today and actually have this video because we almost fucking died today on our way back from the casino while just wanting to take a break from playtesting.
All right, so last night they were playtesting, and I was like sitting there like, I don't know. I was trying to find ideas. I was pissed because it's like so much. There's no decks to play that seemed like outright good. Like it's like this isn't the call. And they were up all night playtesting. I eventually fell asleep, and then we woke up next day, went to casino to clear our minds, but stay sharp in like any kind of card game. So we went to the casino. They both of them played in cash games, and I entered one of the tournaments, and I'd never been to a casino before. I ended up taking 8th, which was a pretty decent payout.
Out of like 100 people.
Out of like 100 people.
That was
good.
solid.
That
was
sucked.
good. Like
Everyone was
that one
garbage.
guy said,
They had no idea what they were
that's real
doing.
good though.
They were so
That's
bad.
real good.
They were so bad. Neymar's players all over the place. And
Shots fired.
Shots fired. And then these they did pretty decent at the cash games. We went away, came back to the casino after getting some grub, and then
We all played cash for like
we all played cash games for like another hour, and I made like $900 in like 30 minutes because people don't know how to.
At 1-2.
People don't know how to. I went to Houston. All right. So we're driving home. It's raining. It's storming. It's crazy. I go like 63. Speed limit's like 55. We go into like one of the turns. Hydroplane, and the car spins twice. Once.
We hydro pumped, yeah.
We hydro pump like a Blastoise, and the car spun like a Squirtle doing hydro pump. That was
Like
so
rapids, man.
crazy. Rapids.
Round we go when
Alright.
them lights are low.
I was just like, ooh, no hands.
We spun 3 times. Eventually, we hit that median. Shout out to the median.
Shout out to the grass median.
The grass median that
No
caught the
wall.
car. Nothing was wrong with it.
Yeah. We didn't flip. Nothing.
No flips. So anyway, we're happy to not die and be here to give you this video and some insight onto what went through our thoughts throughout the week. So, I guess the first thing to start on is a lot of people are messaging Dylan and myself, or just commenting on our videos about a bunch of rogue decks, and they're like,
Or just
This
your
is
2 decks
cute.
in general, like decks like Metal. And
like
And they might not be rogue.
decks that we're not
but-
mentioning in like our playtesting circles, or like decks that we don't see topping. They're like, oh, well, do you discount this? I'm like, no, it's just we're gonna talk about what we think is a
Supplies,
fair
mother.
time. So today we're gonna talk about nothing but rogue decks, and how we feel the decks are in the current state of the meta, and why it's bad or good, and why it's rogue. There's a reason why it's not top tier, and we're gonna try and like expand on why. So if you can fix the problems that we're gonna discuss, then cool, good for you. Go ahead.
Then you might have a good deck.
Like,
yeah.
we did that with Dragonite Groudon. People
You
were
might
counting
go
stuff
ham.
out. And then
You
we did it
might
with
go ham.
Flygon, like Donphan. People were like, Donphan sucks. Nope. We went to Philly. All of us played Donphan. Slaughtered. It was fun. So the first deck we're gonna start with is the one that Jim McClure talked to me about, which was Dragon Mega Rayquaza. And I'm pretty sure I can mention it because I'm not 100% sure that this dude's even gonna be on the deck anymore. But why is M-Ray Dragon not top 6, top 7 right now? Like, what's holding it back?
Well, Chris played it at regionals, and you almost played it at regionals. So.
Yeah, very. But then
I mean, like, what do you
There's
think
so
about the
much
deck
stupid-
without
It's so
trump
cool.
card?
Like,
without trump card, it needs a Bunnelby. I like a Bunnelby.
Bunnelby works.
Bunnelby's good.
Bunnelby goes hand in
Recycling
hand.
DDE juice. It's so good.
Yeah, not
And-
being able to put the double dragon energies back in your
Yeah,
deck
it's
is-
pretty bad, especially
yeah.
when you need to open to like a Sycamore and try and get your pieces together.
Putting 4 energy on to knock out like a 1 prizer, and you got a 2 prizer sitting out there. It's kind of.
Yeah,
It's,
that's fine too.
like,
But,
it's 4
yeah,
energy,
yeah,
man.
but you toss back the double, like
Yeah, but then you have to hope to draw it.
I mean, you basically trade 1 for 1 or 2 for 2 with Night March, but you have to have like a lot of stuff going on.
if you're
to do
playing it, you need to play Shrine.
3.
Like
2 or 3.
Not 3. You're pissed. All right.
I'm mad.
Like-
I'm the
like-
one that
like
went
1
through
or
it. Like,
2,
these
something
non-EX
really crazy.
decks, these
Like-
non-EX decks are real, dog.
Okay, the trait really comes in handy.
It does.
Like people sleep on the trait. Trait's real.
That
But you
minus-
can't afford to do the 5 for 300 attack against the non-EXs.
No, you
multiple
can't switch a
times.
Raichu with the Dragon's Ascent and expect to win. Like you're gonna get bopped.
Yeah.
So the shrine allows you to use the
Yeah, but then you can also trade with Reshis, you can tech in like 1 or 2 Hydra Gun, and then maybe even like fit in DCEs or something. I don't know, something stupid to try and make the trade with Raichu better.
You mean Drud? I think you said Hydra Gun. You mean Drud?
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about Hydroplane.
I was like Hydro.
Around we go, dog.
All right. So yeah, Druddigun and the Revenge Attacker. How would you guys play it? Mega Turbo? Like 4 of now?
I think I would just play. I would play 2 or 3. I don't know. I never like for Mega Turbo as good as it sounds in theory, because it's not like Darkrai where Mega Turbo is good throughout the entire game. You can't use it on every attacker on your entire deck. You can only use it on the Mega Ray, and there's other guys you want to build up. And like if you open Mega Turbo, like playing 4 copies kind of implies that you want to open with this card.
2 is fine. You get the Rush Room. But they open Garb, then sorry, you lost.
Wobbuffet.
Yeah, you got Bob.
You got Bob. Wobbuffet you can get around with Lysanders.
Not a lot of people play Wobbuffet now other than like Groudon and Donphan. But
that's not even winning.
Yeah, they're not even winning. So Wobbuffet's not as big a threat right now because going through your entire deck with Shaman turn 1 is this good.
And because of that, you get to power off of your Reshis and stream like that. The reason it was counted out before at the regionals that Chris played it at is Emray Colorless was just so fast that they can Oko a dragon
easier than you can and with less
easier
resources.
than you can get to knock out theirs. But now that the deck's kind of taking a back seat from all the Raichu and everything else coming up, you have somewhat of a shot. I like Emray. I think it's decent.
Yeah, you still have to be able to keep up with all the non-EX 1 prize decks with because now they have all the extra damage from Crobat, which a lot of people weren't playing before. So
it's still 220 is hard to reach.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but they might put 220. They might put 200 or 210 on it, and then they could finish it off with a bat the following turn because you don't play any healing.
That's true.
I don't know if you're confident in its ability to trade with the really fast non-EX decks like Raichu bats and stuff. It could have a lot of potential.
If you can get it to work against the non-EX decks, because everything else just get bodied. Landy bats, Toad,
anything
or
EX,
like
you just
Mega
go
Manectric, you lose.
The 300 attack is hard to keep up.
Plus the trait.
Yeah, plus the
Mega
trait.
Manectric, when it's only hitting for 90s, you have to 3-hit a M Dragon when it just took out 4 prizes by itself.
Well, what's the reasoning to play this Rayquaza over the colorless Rayquaza with Bronzong? Because that one kills everything in one hit too.
Looking, that's it.
It's sweeter looking. Is it just because of the trait?
He looks pissed. Dragon's Ascent.
Well, because it's a consistent 300 rather than you have to rely on your bench space.
Plus, you get to play double Dragon Energy. I
mean, I was just
when you're playing better special energies.
My argument was just is filling up your bench an easier requirement to fulfill than getting 5 energy.
But
4. Well,
5 if you need the 300.
Okay, but just as quickly as we were making Colorless Ray, we added that into our variant, where we added 3 Shaman and then 2 Skyfields.
Yeah, into the.
And then we were kind of going toe for toe with Colorless Ray, and most of the time they had to burn the resources to draw into the supporters. And now that Trep's gone, they can't just go Hamtaro the entire time, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
you'll have those turns where they're gonna be awkwardly trying to make their Bronx.
It really depends. That's actually real.
And during those times, you can get a Lysander off into a Colorless Ray and then replace into a Shrine. You're gonna body him the next couple turns. They need to get a Skyfield. They need to build up their onto 8 again on the bench.
Yeah, I think a big advantage Dragon Ray has is not being weak to lightning. That's definitely a big deal. Yeah, being weak to lightning right now sucks because of Joltik and Raija.
So, Emray's good. Just gotta get it to beat non-EX decks and then you have a shot. Alright, next is Metal. We haven't really talked about Metal a lot outside of the Cling Excadrill.
And the Bronzong Rayquaza, which is only kind of.
But that's not Metal. That's
very meta dependent, right? I mean, if you're gonna see a lot of EXs and you do the Ash/Slash build, Ash/Slash version, you're gonna go.
Well, Tate just finished 2nd seed in Canada with Metal.
Yeah, we don't know if he's gonna win.
Yeah, but we're gonna make a new video
for Canada
about Canada because we want to see what wins, and we still want to look at the top 8 and analyze how everything did, and talk to a bunch of our Canadian friends and just see what's there. Just because it made top 8 doesn't mean that something didn't completely dominate the entire tournament. And from what I've heard, people were talking about not playing. They were scared everyone's gonna play Landy Bats, and they were scared everyone's playing Landy Bats, and in doing so, they're playing Toad to counter it, and trying to read that counter, they ended up just playing Raichu Bats instead. So we went full circle with stupidity. Regardless, Metal. What makes it bad? What makes it good?
When it sets up, it's like very strong. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to play metal. I think everybody's definitely playing at least 2 Aegislash right now because all the non-EX decks are very reliant on double colorless. And then I'm not really sure if Dialga's or Cobalion EX is more disruptive against Seismitoad. I don't know if it's better to remove their double colorless or to use Chrono Wind for 60 and stop them from attacking. I think like you really have to read the metagame correctly and choose which attackers to play. And I haven't played around with metal to exactly know what those attackers are. So I think if like Chase like finishes like well like after the top 8 in Canada, I know like he wrote something on 60 cards about it, and he'll probably like post a list or so the information will get out somehow. And I think that build of metal will be kind of the standard going into U.S. Nationals.
Yeah.
I mean, people haven't experimented with metal that much, so the version that does well is gonna kind of become like the gold standard to test against. I don't know. Like, do you have anything like else that you think you?
I hate the setup.
Yeah,
like whenever I play with metal, it always seems like the good play, and then when I'm piling the deck, I'm like, oh, awesome! I couldn't get a Bronzong down. I couldn't get a Bronzor down by turn 2, and so I lost.
I feel like playing Repeat Ball. Well, yeah, not getting the Bronzor down definitely hurts. I feel like ways to improve that would be to play Trainer's Mail and Repeat Ball, just so you have a better shot at hitting the Bronzors and the Ultra Balls in the beginning of the game, but it's still not guaranteed.
You're no on fan club. We're yes on fan club.
Yeah.
In terms of playing that,
If,
right? If you get
fan club, I'm
instant
fan.
Aegislash Bronzor,
I'm a big
and
fan
then you
of
open
fan
up a
clubs.
Heatran or like
well, how many
X,
fans?
I don't know. Maybe you open up a Bronzor, you gotta lose it.
If
You're
you
not gonna
play
treat it
Jirachi,
as
one fan club is okay, but if you don't play Jirachi, I don't think you can.
No,
play
we got 2.
I just
Yeah.
prefer to play
Yeah.
Repeat Balls and Trainer's Mail. I feel like just like the faster version is better for getting Bronzors into play turn 1. I guess we'll see what Chase does. I think Compressor is obviously good. That doesn't
I
really
just like it
impact
because like
Bronzor.
if you see Toad come back in the format, fan club's pretty awesome. Like get you set up against them.
It is, but I don't know, based on Canada, Toad wasn't like huge presence, and I don't know if Toad beats Raichu Bats. I'm not 100% sure it does. I don't even know if it did with Trump Card. I doubt it does without Trump
Yeah,
Card.
same.
Toad
I feel like metal whenever we're discussing it, and whenever we're talking about decks, it's like, oh, you don't have auto loss. You know,
Metal's always really good on paper.
They're in there, but in theory, in
Yeah.
application, you're just like, all right.
I mean, it's possible that Chase just
Exactly.
Chase is like crazy good at this game. He could have just came up with some killer.
That's why you can't like.
Yeah, he
either
could've
his
just came
Chase
out
was
with some-
absurd, or he just slaughtering Canada because it's Chase. Like.
Yeah, maybe just like the bad starts, he just outplayed them once he got set up. I don't know. You obviously have Heatran in there for if Donphan is a thing too. I know Heatran improves the Donphan matchup a lot.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to play Heatran.
Because I know in like
She's so
during the
good.
cities
You're
builds
not
of
gonna
Metal
be
versus
So big against
Donphan.
non-EX decks. Oh my god.
Well, yeah. I agree.
Because if
Yeah.
you're trading with Raichus and they have to play around DCE to play on, I just what are they gonna do? Drop a Silent Lab on you? They're trying to beat other decks and trying to focus on that. So that's good. All right.
Next deck.
Archie's Blastoise.
Ooh.
The Alex Croxton special.
I never liked Blastoise. Like I made top 8 at a cities with Blastoise once, and then I never played the deck again because I felt that was the best I was ever gonna do with the deck.
You got it in, so that's as far
You
as we
played
go.
with him a few, right?
I played with it like once, and I was like, I still prefer Empoleon if I were to ever play like one of those kind of
Water
decks.
kind of evolution.
I don't know. Archie Blastoise just seems so hit or miss because you can only make the deck so consistent, and if you miss your Archie Blastoise, you don't.
You
just
might as well
lose.
scoop the game.
You just lose.
Yeah, you just kind of said it.
And I feel like I don't know how I'm not a professional Archie Blastoise player, but I don't know how consistent you could get the deck. But I haven't seen lists that get it more than 70-80% of the time, right? They
Yeah,
whiff
but-
at least 20%.
That's
I'm
big.
more supportive of the Wally Blastoise engine. And like people
Okay.
you're gonna get there at some point in the game.
And you
if,
can
if
still
your
play
opponent has
one-
a slow start, you can just slaughter.
you
him.
could still
Sometimes
play
you
one
don't need
Archie in
Archies
that
at all.
version.
Like, sometimes you don't need it till like turn
You
6.
still can, but
7.
do you really want to be dropping all your evolution lines like just to like get to the Archies?
I mean,
When you're gonna be primarily relying on it, just like I need to empty my hand for this Archies.
I mean, you just play like one Archie, and if you're already playing computer search and stuff, occasionally he'll be out to
Occasionally.
the turn 1 Empoleon. Like, I mean, like, what if it's like, oh,
You
if
can
I
still
had,
play.
if I had one Archie into my deck and swapped the Shaman for a Jirachi, I get a turn 1 Blastoise like 30-40% of the time.
I agree.
I would take those odds, yeah, but I don't know. I haven't played Blastoise.
It shouldn't be the soul. It shouldn't be the soul of the deck.
Alright.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the soul.
But to
of the
give
deck.
them a better idea of where we're sitting on it, Kyurem is better. Yes.
Kira.
Yeah, like a
Better
black
Oh,
Kyurem.
Black
variant.
Kyurem,
A black
yeah.
Kyurem with the like Suicune is like the only way to really like take it.
Yeah, because you
It's
need
like-
a way
it's
to...
like this- 'cause
You need
like
a way
the-
to
the
one-shot
attackers
their
are so weird.
dudes without putting a million energy on Keldeo. But, like, you kind of still want to play Keldeo just because the Russian is really good at
Yeah.
these two Keldeo.
You can also play Wailord.
Oh,
Wailord
Oh,
gets
Wailord.
there.
Alright, Wailord.
a splash of Wailord. just
Save it for Wednesday. We can
Yeah,
go
I
over
wish we had
that.
more about Blastoise, but
Wailord
it's
Wednesday,
such-
tune
it's
in,
just a simple
coming
deck.
soon.
It's already been like gutted. Like remember all last year with Beach and then.
I just feel like the deck is inconsistent. It doesn't really trade exceptionally well. It's like if you set up, which doesn't happen all the time. Like if you go against a Raichu, well, Keldeo dies to Raichu. Black Kyurem doesn't trade all that well against it. Suicune trades 1-for-1. You could like use like Articuno or whatever and flip some coins against Raichu.
Yeah,
but even that's
Articuno's
not that
juice.
great.
He's sleeping. All right.
Yeah.
he's asleep.
All right. Next.
More on that later.
VG.
Yeah.
That VG sucks.
Next.
What?
Next.
No. All
I
right.
mean,
All right. Why does it suck?
If Raichu plays a Sky Shield and fills up its vents and attaches to the Silver Bangle, you die. And you trade 1-for-2 against all the non-EX decks, which is already abysmal.
Whoa,
Verizon-
but James Harden got there. And that's Trump. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
Raichu wasn't everywhere at that regionals. Like, there was a lot of,
I
like,
guess
Toad and
so.
Groudon. Like, he could have beaten a lot of Toad and Groudon and just outplayed bad people. Because, like, his list had, like, Bats and Headringers, which was, like, very good, like, very, very good against Groudon and very, very good against Seismitoad.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you could outplay bad people. But now it's, like, people have kind of moved away from Toad a little bit. I mean, you do beat the Toads that you get to play against, but if you play, and people have moved on to Landibat, which has always been, which was the reason why Virizion Genesect fell out of favor.
Died out in the first
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
And then only when people started playing Toad again and Landibats went down is when Virizion Genesect kind of crept back into the format.
Yeah, but with so much less Toad, those are so many like
Yeah.
rounds you don't get free wins anymore.
But now it's like
That's
Landibats, Raichu, Metal is not particularly good if they play Dialga yet.
Yeah.
I just don't see that how many good matchups Virizion Genesect actually has. Like that's why I've always been like very anti Virizion Genesect.
Yeah, I never liked it once. I never played with it in tournament. I hated it.
I played it with
So
Victini and Raichu a long time ago.
That's weighted.
Made top
That's
8.
weighted. Alright, Fairy Box or M-Guard Fairy. One of the two.
I think they're both very different decks, honestly.
Okay, fine.
Which
We'll talk
one?
about Fairy Box first.
Yo, we running with Togekiss?
It won Singapore. Yes? Singapore or Hong Kong?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, this past weekend.
Okay, the past weekend, it went over there, it beat Raichu Bats in the finals.
Yeah.
So, we have no idea what the list is. Or I don't. Maybe you know.
I don't know.
Yes,
I
it's-
don't know. I
But,
haven't
like,
really
If any
tried.
of y'all know, link it to us.
More than
Please.
likely, Agislash was included and played a huge role into beating the Raichu.
Most likely, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I don't see
it-
what else-
it-
he could be like Tekken Landers. Yes.
yeah, I was about to say Landers because the deck usually plays Muscle Band. I just feel like Fairy Box is a deck with a lot of potential because there's so many different attackers you can play with it, and I would never want to count the deck out. Like I know with Trump Card, people started playing Regirock to keep your energy safe from hammers, and then they only move them off the Regirock when they want to use them, which is really cool. I don't know. I don't want to count the deck out, but I feel like without the Seismitoad and Trump card, you don't really have an answer to Night March anymore because the answer used to be their answer. Now you have to rely on stuff like Aegislash, but you only have 4 Rainbow Energies. So that's a lot more
You can only
difficult.
do
Then you play another Bunnelby, yo.
Bunnelby.
You could
Bunnelby!
you could use Shaman Sky Return to Sky Return into Aegislash, which is kind of cute, like with the Muscle Band and kill the
Oh, that
Joltix.
is.
I don't know. There's like cute tricks you can do with it. I wouldn't count it out, but I haven't found like a version that I'm really confident in yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I think it's
We
way
played
better.
Chris and I played it at VA Originals, and I hated it.
I know you
It was
guys
like,
hated the
because
deck.
you draw so bad.
Yeah, Jesus.
I
Like you
You
have so much
you
tech
can do some
that eventually
cute shit in
catches
there.
up with you, where you're like, all right.
I had so
I'm
many
playing
bad
stupid
starts
shit.
during cities, and just like I just felt like if I set up like even with a bad start, I could like afford to Hex Mirror, and like even if I like used Hex Mirror with Spiritomb and like wasted turns, I was still able to catch up and win. I don't know, the deck just
Yeah.
felt like so versatile. I liked it way better than the Gardevoir.
I agree with it being versatile, but man, if you just open bad.
You
Yeah,
don't just open back.
I think
You
the
open
Gardevoir version was
horrible
only
play.
better in the Executor format, just because.
You can compete with eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Offers.
it was 50-50, but yeah, you can compete with that. What I mean, well, so do you think the Gardevoir version is good right now though? Because I know you hate.
Depends, are you using Togekiss?
I don't know how I feel about Togekiss. I like him. I like Togekiss. But then in
Scary,
building Togekiss, you incidentally build a shit deck because you have nothing but energy in it.
Yeah, you have to play like 14 energy at a
Yeah.
stage too.
12 to 14, yes.
So what about
Then you
just,
get Russ hands, And you're like, oh, I opened a Togepi, he's adorable, and 6 energy. He took a whooping.
Sorry, man. Super energy. We got there.
So what about just normal Gardevoir, Xerneas, Aromatisse, the tried and true
It's consistent.
version?
You can't play Florges anymore. Florges, even with Skyfield, Florges isn't getting done. So.
But I mean, if you run this deck against like Raichu, Crobat, your opponent fills up their bench, they do 190 with Raichu, and then they play a Golbat, and then you just die, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they're I just can't figure out a way to fix that. And the same thing like with going against a Joltik or a Pumpkaboo. Like those matchups just seem so.
And then by the
abysmal.
time you fix it, you might as well just be running Fairy Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like just Fairy Box playing different attackers. Yeah, is the only way to fix it. And then that's why I feel like Fairy Box has potential.
Okay, so not be so like using different attackers and like being like all over the place. What particular attackers? Lander CX.
I mean, yeah, we talked about Landorus and
CX,
Aegislash. They seem like the best against these two decks.
And then the Regirock, just so you can stay no Enhanced Hammers or.
Yeah, that's more for other matchups, but maybe.
On that note, we haven't seen Enhanced Hammer make.
That's
like
so
a
weird.
Huge splash.
I'm actually not that surprised because
really?
I think it's very good against strong energy, but it's actually
DCE.
it's not that impactful against double colorless energy. The only time I feel like Enhanced Hammer is impactful is if your opponent goes first and attaches a DCE, and then you enhanced it turn 1. But otherwise, your opponent is like attached double colorless, kill you, and then you have the choice to either kill them or you can enhance their DCA, and it's usually more optimal just to kill them.
I feel like there's times when like you have your own poke active and you kind of bait into a circle circuit, and then you have the revenge kill on that, and then they attach a DCE their turn onto a bench poke so they can play whatever supporter they have.
Sometimes you get one DCA.
Yeah, so you're like you can enhance it away and then you get to knock it out, and you're like, all right, now you're at 2 DCEs left and you're still at like 5-4 prizes, and so then you just play accordingly. Yeah, unless they have the hot tag Bono Bee, which I don't think they do. They sleeping on the bunny.
Or they use the baby of Veltal to hit for 30 and get an energy back and set something.
Oh, so we just got it all.
We have everything. Hello everyone, I'm Dylan Bryan and I have everything. Turn 1.
I mean, if they know that you play Enhanced, which they will figure out in a best of 3, then they would never attach the DC to the bench Raichu. They would attach a basic energy.
You don't know that.
You're giving them too much credit.
them too much credit for
I'm for playing correctly.
Like, yeah.
I assume that my opponents play optimally. I mean, you might catch them off guard in the beginning.
We're talking Swiss.
Did you assume that
We're talking the early rounds.
Did you assume your opponents were going to play optimally?
I mean, I did until they showed me otherwise in 5 minutes.
I also don't think Max Potion gets utilized at all.
In what?
In M Guardian. Like we're talking about Fairy Box M Guardian.
Yeah, you get. Okay,
so another thing that makes M Guardian bad is you get less out of Max Potion, which used to slaughter matchups.
Yeah, I feel like the deck is more has to be more of a toolbox version right now, and maybe even moving away from running 4 Max Potion and playing 3 or even 2, and then focusing on just like taking advantage of being able to jump from one attacker to the other. Like, that would be the advantage of playing Aromatisse, more so than the Max Potion. But, like, having the access to Max Potion is so nice. I don't know. I know it's really general, but just we haven't found a way to break the deck yet. But if somebody can find the right combination of attackers to fix those matchups, then...
Camera up Embor.
Quaking Punch.
Why is my camel? Alright, if you're to say Quaking Punch, then you could, like knock out half the shit on here. Like Archie's Blastoise. Because, like...
Well, I mean, we talked
about
the wall, but you could play the wall.
Isn't getting played as much.
But you could play... well, I'm just saying. I mean, like...
But there's also the weakness.
Yeah, the weakness. You just get 2 shots.
Y'all sleeping on my camel, man. He's so good.
Alright. So you get 2 shots by there.
Alright, I turn to God Hand him, hit the Wally. Right? Not Wally on Embor, Wally on Delphox.
Ooh.
Alright, let's just run through this really quick. We get killed by Quaking Punch. We trade 1 for 2 against Nightmare.
You don't get instantly killed.
1 for 2 against Raichu.
You get 100. It's fine.
We trade poorly versus all the non-EX decks.
Camera up on a Tuesday.
You get 1 shot by both Rayquaza variants.
But you're playing Camera.
You probably beat Metal. You do beat
Metal.
Metal.
You do beat Metal. That's hot.
You play Camera, people are like, what?
Chase, you better watch out for Camera. He's coming.
Yeah.
You beat the VG.
Yo, VG sucks.
It does. But so does Camera Up. So if you're playing Camera Up, then you're like at the 1-3 tables, you might see a VG.
Yeah, you can get there. You can Worlds Grinder? Prelim? Day 1 Worlds? Alright. Last deck. Mega Manetry.
This has a lot of potential.
But we don't know what.
Maybe Aegislash.
Yeah, we don't know what to pair it with. I like it though. Rusty's juice.
I don't know. Ever since Mega Manectric came out, I just bought them up instantly because I'm like, this is a card that can be splashed into so many different decks.
For anything, very long.
Yeah, if anything ever needs energy acceleration, then like this card can go with it. Like if Veltal is big or anything that's weak to lightning is ever big, Manectric can be good because you can splash it with anything. If anything with 110 HP or less is ever good, you can splash Manectric in there, and then it essentially lets you just attack for free almost, because you put 2 energy attachments on Manectric, but then you get that investment back. So you could, like, I don't know, you could just play with so much stuff, man. I just don't know what the right attacker is right now.
You also don't know what exactly beats Landy Bats.
Oh yeah, that's
even before I watched like stream games where people were like, all right, just play the Suicune in it, and they still
doesn't really work.
Like, it's not.
And people might start playing Silent Lab in.
It's nowhere near guaranteed.
Yeah, Manectric's
biggest
problem was always
Silent Lab and Landy Bats
because people are gonna start playing Mime again. Yeah. But Manectric's problem has always been fighting Donphan and Landorus.
You need that extra damage, man.
I mean, do you think the Mega Manectric is enough to beat Raichu on its own? Like, if I just
210's tanky.
So if I just went in there with a 4/4 Mega Manectric line, like almost nothing else, and I just jammed it against Raichu Batch, you think that I would?
After you mulligan 7 times and gave them an amazing hand.
Okay, assuming that I just play 4/4 Manectric and I don't mulligan.
In the top cut.
Assuming that
do you remember how many times you hard passed the Pokemon Center ladies?
That list was built in 2 hours and filled out, and I showered and did my hair, which takes a
lot
of
time.
Professor
Wow. Alright. We're all sitting here tonight in our hotel room trying to think of whatever, and they're going to sleep. And then Dylan and I are like, yo, top cut, what is it? And I was like, should I fake out the Flygon and go something crazy, something good, you know? And I was like, no, I'm playing Flygon. And that's when you woke up and you were like,
6 in the morning.
Russ, what?
Well, at first
you were like,
I wanted to play
beat VG,
yeah.
And I was like, bro, you hit 110 and they don't, and you're like, all right, let's get it. And that's when you're like, all right, what else works? I just slash. Okay, and then that's when you just start throwing stuff together, and we needed more consistency, so you added 2 Birch.
Yeah.
Johnny Rabbit was like, you need to run Professor Birch. He's like, okay.
That's because Johnny was so fucking
I don't know. I don't
know. I think Johnny's gonna quit after this season because there was no more plasma.
I just kind of knew that I wanted to play Birch, and I knew that Johnny would encourage it. So I was like, Johnny, should I add more Birch into my deck? And he said yes. And I just needed somebody to rationalize it for me.
If you guys are actually listening to what we have to say, please never listen to that statement. Because that was horrible. Like, don't. He purposely played a bad card just to be supported, and then you went 3 for 3.
It's not Birch is not a bad card, man. Birch is not. I don't believe Birch is a bad card.
You believe in your friends are gonna win.
I believe.
I think
you're
gonna
play every round on stream.
I think it's a solid 1 or 2 of if you're playing a deck that can't afford to play Colress because it only plays like something like 6 Pokemon. If you can't play like supporters like Colress or Karina, you need to play more supporters other than Sycamore and N, and your choices are Bianca, Shauna, Birch, and Birch is the best one. So high risk, high reward.
Alright, we have nothing else left.
Oh wait, some people wanted to hear about like Trevenant, like too. That was another one.
Trevshay?
Yeah, Trevshay. I guess with Gengar too. I mean that's not good.
Gengar Trev is good.
That's not really a rogue.
That's legit.
Yeah, I think
Trey Chev is bad.
Yeah.
This isn't.
Well, why
this isn't Trump anymore.
Yeah, so you can't afford to recycle.
You can't
your
just
whole
slap
deck.
people with crushing hammers. You gotta get a play.
Because that deck was like
Gengar Trev can get it in right now.
You gotta allow your opponent to play Pokemon, and so because they are, you lost. You're playing a bad deck.
Yeah, it struggles with Manectric. Anybody that's playing, I mean, if people do, Manectric's not a thing. We were just talking about.
They lose to Emboar because they get that Wally. Let's go.
Yveltal's bad. Yveltal's always been bad for the deck.
Yeah, but
do you think it could stand up to Trevenant in general, the Raichu? Like, how do you think Gengar Trev fares against Raichu?
It's bodied.
It gets bodied by the Raichu.
They can't put up the Bengal to like Lysander if the Trevenant's out.
They're gonna have a bad time setting up though, I guess.
Yeah, do you think the threat of turn 1 Trevenant hurts the Raichu player enough? Because once the Raichu player sets up,
then you lost.
Yeah, they Lysander Gengar. If the Raichu player can Lysander a Gengar and play their
do you want to play that floodgate concept though?
I don't know.
Like, please don't manually draw Lysander onto my bench like Phantom or whatever.
Yeah, because I can't. It's not like I can burst.
And then they're like, shaming crazy. And here's all these items, and then he set up, and now you lost.
Yeah, Gengar is definitely the better version because the other version could attack with Sky Return and then take advantage of being able to like use Shaman setup again and again and again. But that just makes you deck out in this format. So you really need a more solid attacker like Gengar. Yeah, I mean we went over that deck a little bit, but that deck is solid.
It's pretty juicy.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm always scared to play it just because I feel like Yveltal's... Maybe people will be scared to play Yveltal after Canada, but I don't know. Just like a random Yveltal or a random Manectric seems so realistic in 9 rounds, just one or the other, and you just lose if they play that. And then you have to be like very confident in all the decks' other matchups. I'm not sure how it fares against Metal either, which might gain popularity with Chase. I don't know. There's just like a lot of iffy things with Gengar Trevenant. But if you're like really confident in the deck and you test it a lot, then I don't know. I just don't like relying on that Wally Trevenant. I hope I go first and lock you out of the game concept.
Same. I don't really like when we talked about how Gengar Trevenant's good. I still didn't like the that aspect of it.
If you hit though, if you turn that one Wally, it's still pretty dope.
Yeah. I do want to apologize by how every time we're mentioning a road deck, we're talking about Raichu bats.
But that's just
because it feels like it's the deck to beat.
Yeah, I mean,
like if you can't beat that, put the deck away.
Yeah, we're trying not to go into detail about Canada now, but just like briefly looking at the current top 8 in Canada, Raichu Bats is.
Yeah. But before we were talking about Night March, and then Bats they just savage them, like.
Which we discussed in like one of our earlier videos.
During the first week, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Bats. We tested it, Bats slaughtered. Oh hey, look. And then slowly but surely, the Bats are taking over. And now it's like, do I want to play Landy Bat to beat the Raichu or the Yev Bat, which Rob Davies just stopped with? And I think they had a Leafeon in it too. It's just, what do you pair with Bats in like this current top 8?
So the question is, how do you beat Bats?
If you can beat Raichu Bats with one of these road decks, you have a chance.
Consult the Joker.
You just have to be able to compete with Landy Bats at the same time. Or Donphan. This is like kind of.
I think Landy Bats is the bigger threat than Donphan, to be honest. A lot of people feel that Donphan is very clunky and stuff. Even though I'm more biased towards Donphan, and I personally like that one better.
Elephant.
Yeah, I'd rather be Donphan than Landy Bats, but I think the majority of the player base likes Landy Bats better. So, I think that was all the road decks that we had to cover for.
Unless we get anything else on our heads.
Yeah, I mean, so like check out our next video on Monday.
Monday or Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
I'm working from home, so.
Depends.
We're chilling like whenever.
Depends when we get to upload it.
Early week next week we'll have stuff ready for.
More related on Canada.
More than likely.
Victory Road series.
One vid and then one more before we actually do U.S. Nationals possibly.
Yeah. So
we'll have 3.1. We'll have a 3.1 and 3.2. We'll probably check in on you checking in on you in the hotel room. At Indy.
Yeah, I mean, make sure you subscribe to Someone's PC, our YouTube channel, so you don't miss our videos when they come out.
I'm never saying that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to say it.
I'm never gonna be one of those subscribe, comment, like. I was like, no,
we really appreciate you viewing.
Like, we're not doing this. We're not even doing this for money. We're just doing this because it's fun.
We enjoy it. I don't know.
It's really exciting to see another person.
And people feel like,
you know that.
I don't know how you dumbasses think. And then they see Dylan, they're like, I wonder how this dude thinks. He's number 1 right now. Before the World's Points got added.
I don't know. I just think it's awesome. The more viewers, the more people get to reach out to and talk to, the more fun and interact.
Yeah, and then the more rogue ideas people throw at us, the more I can be like, all right, your idea was good, your execution was horrible, but I want to party with it, and then that's how like we made like crazy decks, like somewhat these rogue decks, like to tournament worthy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when I played, like, the Flareon deck at Worlds, it started off as, like, that Flareon Cofagrigus deck that, like, Kyle, like, played on, like, Bad Deck Monday, and people brought the Battle Roads and turned it into something else. So it's stuff like that. It always starts out as a Tier 2 deck like this, and if you work on it and fix the problems it has, it can be, like, a US Nats deck.
Yeah.
So, more than likely, we're not going to do another one of these videos, like, all of us sitting down until we're going to be at Nats.
Probably Indies. This is a week from now.
Yeah, Nats. I mean, that's, like, the one, but this is going to be, like, a... Like, you know, we're going to start doing videos when we're just at home. Like, Skype in.
We just so happened to be together because we wanted to play Tassin Casino in one day. Yeah, so as always, send us your decks to someone'spc.box1@gmail.com.
And if you have any more Rogue or Tier 2 decks that we missed, feel free to let us know, and we'll mention those in our next video really quick.
Oh, yeah, they want you guys to tweet us.
Yeah, you can
They
tweet
wanna
us. We're
hit
gonna
us
set up
up
our
on
Twitter.
Twitter.
Hit us up on the tweets.
Like I'm not gonna check that.
Chirp at us.
You can
Chirping.
check that. And you can message me about it.
Just chirping in on you.
Tweeting.
But you for right now, please, if you have suggestions for our channel, please email us at the same email you use for the deck ride, which is again, someone'spc@gmail.com. It's just easier to consolidate all of y'all's requests since we know you're messaging Russ and Dylan, and we love the feedback, but we just want to keep it consolidated. So please keep reaching out to us, but please do it through our email.
Yeah, we get kind of busy. Like you and I.
Yeah.
Like we kind of get backtracked, and then he's trying to. He's trying to do stuff with this Hearthstone stream.
Yeah.
So
He's good.
Follow him on Hearthstone.
Just don't tell him he's boring.
Getting better, slowly improving the stream. We've only
If you love
streamed for like a
watching
few days.
Dylan smile a little bit, just like
We're trying to get our banner and the better icon soon for our channel.
If you do want to send artwork for our overlay that we're probably going to change every week, we're more than willing to put that up too if you want to do that.
Yeah, if you have suggestions, like people are talking about, make it 45 minutes, keep it at 30. We had friends say bring it down to 10. I don't know how we can give you quality content in 10 minutes,
But those are people that don't really like Pokemon.
Yeah, those are just kind of like random. They're kind of in just grab the deck list.
But basically, just like suggestions, any suggestions in general. Yeah, the better, the more detailed, the better, and we appreciate all the feedback. So.
All right, no more talking. Love you guys.
Yeah, peace
Thanks
out.
for tuning in. Have a good one.